Hello everybody, welcome to the broadcast. It is week number 7 here at ECAC. Teams have jumped in. They are just looks like they are sending it. So we're gonna talk a little bit about what this game's gonna look like, where this team is at. But right now, let's jump into the game. All right, and so we have the Buena Vista State team is going to be in the red. Your post-university Eagles going to be in the yellow here to start things out. Papagepetto on the SIG. We're getting things going here. Antarctic Peninsula. Both these teams are currently setting at 3 and 3s. And even more significantly, these teams both are looking to get into secure a playoff position here. This is their last chance to, so they're both going to be fighting for it, gunning for it hard as they can. Both Reapers are down right now, so that's a big chunk of the DPS that is gone and not accounted for. Let's check in on Papagepetto, see how he's doing on the front line here. He's having to go up against an Orisa, which is going to be pretty tough. That's going to kind of favor the Orisa for the most part, especially with that javelin spin right there. It's going to take him out, with Vero falling as well. Post-University Eagles is going to be sent back to spawn, but that was a pretty solid fight from both squads. I mean, take a look at Vero. She is already at 85% to her ultimate, so expecting her to get that relatively soon. That could be a big factor in this upcoming fight, especially considering the only other DPS ultimate that looks like it's getting close is the Senni's on the Ashe. And the thing is, Vero's gonna want to get that she's gonna want to get that ultimate off as quick as she can, because Aseni is the big counter to Vero right here. So let's see if she can pull it off as they start to move in, and there it is. Aseni immediately takes out Vero, which is unfortunate for Post University. Papagepetto now forced to back off quite a bit, just trying to hold that space, making sure that instead of, you know, having to back out fully or maybe have several people die, they can at least hold the space and get it back in there as quick as possible. But it looks like Post University has decided to try and drop onto the point anyway. Torero gets taken out pretty early, unfortunately for them. So again, we're kind of going to be waiting now. Papagepetto's in danger of getting staggered too, but Vero has found a pick. So it's going to be a 3v4 right now, but with the res coming in from Mercy, things they're going to be back at full strength. Post University trying to run it in now with 4 players, seeing if maybe the addition of Torero can help. Vero duplicated. The Orisa gets the Terra Surge right away, but it's not enough damage to get things going. The opposing Game Worm Orisa pushes in as well. Now there's a coalescence going. And with Papagepetto down, Torero down as well. Post University going to be forced to reset once again. This is going to be last fight territory at this point. Vero might be the person who has to touch either that, either her or Torero. Herbal Burner swapped over to the Mercy now to give that pocket to Vero, but Jojo goes down immediately. That's going to be very tough to deal with. But in the meantime, Torero has found Jupiter. That's going to be huge. That's going to allow them at least some space here. But a huge Dragon Strike comes in from Rusty Pipes. Herbal Burner tries to go for the res, but is booped away by Game Worm, and that will be sub-map number 1 going the way of BVU.
Score 0-1. Ready for battle.
Moving to the second sub-map here. This is another one that really favors the Brawl camp position, and if you're unfamiliar with the map, something you're going to see a lot is this area right here going to be very, very important for both teams to control, especially within this first fight. We're probably going to see one of the DPS, somebody a flanker, Torero, I'm thinking, most likely trying to cover this position. Both Rusty Pops and Aseni from the other spot are going to do that as well. So it's probably going to be up to Papagepetto to try and clear that high ground to ensure that Torero can keep it. Vero, in the meantime, is going to be looking, I think, to probably go main, but she's going to have to kind of duck and dodge behind cover to make sure that she stays out of harm's way. And so we are seeing Vero actually going to try and clear this space forward. And look at that. Papagepetto's already done a great job of kind of clearing this space for the high ground. So Post University starting out with a Papagepetto still should be able to hold on to it. Herbal Burner is down though, and we can see that Papagepetto trying to get that space there for Vero to do something. But in the meantime, they've been demacked, and now it's going to be a tough job to try and stay out of harm's way, get back into that mech. It's not going to happen. So first possession going to go over to BVU this time as well. Jojo, I think, is going to be a pretty big part of this composition, as is Herbal Burner. The supports in this particular matchup, right, that we're looking at right now, going to be very, very important, right? Because we need that pocket on Vero, and in addition, all of this healing from Jojo needs to be used to keep Papagepetto up for the most part. We've got a pick already onto Rusty Pipe, so that's going to be good. Terrera takes a bit of damage, but they're able to get healed back up. Right now, Papagepetto is alone on point. Immortality Field used kind of early by Papagepetto. They could have probably waited just a little bit to do that, but in the meantime, the rest of the team has secured several kills, and with that, Post University going to be able to take control of the point. Now, as we look to get going into this next fight, the DPS ultimates are online for Post University. Kai, however, has their Valkyrie, so that could pose a problem. But if Terrera is able to get that tack visor online, that could be the difference maker here, right? Even if Kai decides to pop the Valkyrie and plays a little bit too far forward, then Terrera can just counter with this tack visor, and that I think is going to be the key to Post University winning. So this fight here, so Terrera needs to stay up. Papagepetto already used a lot of their sustain. Here comes a big window on the point from Jojo. Terrera with that tack visor, able to secure one, and they did get Kai, the person who they really needed to get. However, it's not going to be enough, as the rest of BVU is able to secure the kills they need to win the fight. So Post University, I feel like they played that how they needed to. They just got outplayed a little bit by the rest of the squad on the other side. I think the fact that Aseni was able to use the Bob early, kind of get it towards the middle of the point, almost negated Jojo's window. But moving into this one, we've got the Valk now, and we've got the dude coming in from Vero. Another early Immortality Field forced to be used, but Terrera takes out Aseni, who, again, I love what I'm seeing from Post University now. They have identified Aseni as one of the big threats here, especially to Vero. Now we've got the Valk going on here from Herbal Burner. They're doing everything they can to try and keep Vero alive, but they were unfortunately picked. Got 70% on the board now. The res is available, but I don't think they're going to be able to get it. No, Vero has already respawned. Papagepetto is staying alive here, but they need to either win this fight right now or lose it. One or the other, because they're getting to that 85 percentage point. And if Herbal Burner goes down right now, that could be devastating for Post University. They're going to get another chance, but Vero might be the person who has to get onto point. They're going to need to duplicate this Orisa in order to maintain point presence. And we do see Vero jumping in very quickly, but she's a little too early. The 97% has been pushed onto, but in the meantime, several players from Post University get picked. Terrera finds one, but Papagepetto gets the point, tries to get the Terra Surge to make something happen, but the res comes in regardless. And now this is unfortunately just going to be an L on the first map for Post University. What a showing, though, from both squads. You can tell that they both recognize it's on the line right now. They want to make it into the playoffs. So BVU with an early advantage here over Post University, but I loved the adjustments that I saw coming through. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination we can count Post University out at all. So excited to see how the rest of this goes. And yeah, let's take a quick look at Terrera, because and they had such a great idea, right? Get rid of the Mercy, get rid of the supports, and then of course as well make sure that you're keeping that you're keeping those hit scans in or rather you're keeping the opposing hit scans in check with the help of Papagepetto. So we're back to the lobby. We're gonna see what map comes up next, but in the meantime, throwing it to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. Hello gamers and welcome back to the action. We are here at Kings Row. It doesn't get much more classic than this for map number 2 between your post-university Eagles and the Buena Vista University Beavers. Post-university going to be on the attack first. So we're going to get defense first. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Post-university going to be on the defense first. And Papagepetto back on the Sigma. Loves the Sigma now. Big thing here is Papagepetto is going to want to kite back to point kind of as slowly as they can to give their DPS time to get a pick here. Whereas Atheon is going to be wanting to move forward pretty quickly, pretty aggressively, trying to force the brawl issue on point. While Papagepetto is going to want to just kind of poke away, especially with Vero and Torero. Speaking of Vero, she is back onto the Torbjorn. Always love it when she's on the Torbjorn. Makes me so happy to see. And this high ground position is great too, because it means she's going to be able to work on the shield, as we can kind of see her doing, especially with the turret as well. So, and we can see Papagepetto is doing an excellent job of just kind of making sure that they're kiting back to point. That's a big sleep, big anti-nade now that's taken, at least given some pause here to the Reinhardt. Rebel Burner has to back up quite a bit. Papagepetto gets the pick onto the front line. It's going to be 2 for 2 though, and that's going to favor Buena Vista here. So Post University is going to have to do a really good job, I think, of kind of sustaining here, which means Papagepetto needs to drop that shield soon so that he can start to kind of build that back up before the Reinhardt gets back. So Herbal Burner is trapped though. That's unfortunate. We can see Reinhardt already back. Jojo in a difficult position as well. So it's entirely possible they're going to have a tough time staying alive here. And in fact, both supports have fallen at this point. Torero now trying to get something done here, and in the meantime Papagepetto just hanging on to point as long as they can, but they do eventually fall. So that will be Buena Vista taking the point. Took them a little bit though, minute and a half off the clock. So Post University has to be happy about this. And oh no, Vero, you're in trouble, Vero. Oh my gosh, what a magnificent escape, question mark. We're going to see, hopefully. In the meantime, Papagepetto swapped over to the Reinhardt now, letting go of any of that ultimate that they had built up. Speaking of ultimates, Buena Vista's got 2 online. A third is going to be here any second now as well. And because Atheon has bet on the Reinhardt, they're going to have theirs too. So it's entirely possible that we're going to see Post University win lose 1 to 2 fights here as they stabilize and get their ultimates back. But with an early pick from Vero onto Ascenti, that's going to make matters a lot easier. Papagepetto overcommits though a little bit, gets out of the LOS of their Helo. So now Herbal Burner trying to back up. Big shadow though comes in from Atheon. They're looking to just kind of knock everybody down, keep everybody at bay. That's going to be a big burst though coming out from Herbal Burner, but unfortunately unable to convert on it. So now rest of the squad forced to back up, and that looked like a no-reg to me. Jojo, I don't know what happened there. Looks to me like he got to sleep, but you know, what do I know? So Papagepetto is back in the mix now, and the card has made it to about halfway through this point. The big ultimate we're going to be looking out for here is Jojo's, right? They need to get that nano boost delivered onto Papagepetto, but Papagepetto chasing down the Reinhardt, and unfortunately Atheon baits them into that tunnel, which means he's going to get charged into oblivion, but Atheon falls as well. Big pick coming out from Torero on the Soldier 76. Got the attack visor, but bites off a little bit more than they can chew, and Wax Chunk takes advantage of it. He's got a rip tire too. This could be used to kind of seal the deal, maybe even completely push into third point here, but it looks like they want to wait on Atheon to get back. In the meantime, Papagepetto does have this shatter ready to go, but that's a big pick onto Herbal Burner too. So BVU looking pretty good here. Papagepetto now trying to face take in front of huge shatter coming in front of Wax. That's a big tack visor as well coming out from Torero. The nano on the tack visor too. They opted to go that way. I like that decision coming out from Jojo. And look at this. Oh no, KY Kai so strong on the Mercy. Doesn't eventually get the pick though. They do go, or he gets the pick, but he does eventually go down. So 2 minutes 45 on the clock now. Post University has done a great job of kind of sustaining here, but at this point they do not have any ultimates left to go, and BVU has just said, cool, go ahead, spend all yours, get a little time off the clock, because we have got 4 ready to go. And right now this Coalescence coming out is going to be big, but that's a huge anti-nade onto Atheon as well. Herbal Burner does go down again. Ascenti's got their number at this point. Big pick coming out from Torero though. To be trades back and forth, but at the end of the day, it's going to be BVU who comes out on top. They're able to secure the picks they need to push into third. We can see already Atheon taking a bit of space here. They've got the Shatter ready to go again, so Papagepetto is going to have to be very careful with their shield usage and their shield health as well. And considering that Wax Chunk's going to be just throwing grenades into them, that's going to be hard to maintain. They get hindered for a moment. Big Molten Core coming out from Vero. That should slow things down quite a bit. And we can see Papagepetto trying to kind of like sneak around Atheon, but gets out of the way of their healers for a second and pays for it. Immortality Field has to be used. They are so close to getting this Shatter on the line. Atheon lets loose with theirs, and now actually getting a charge into the backline coming out from Papagepetto. Riptire, though, rips through Post University. Now Papagepetto just trying to stagger or stall on point. Tries to throw out the Shatter, but unfortunately gets punished for it. And a res comes in as well. So things are looking a little bit rough here for Post University, but 2:30 on the clock here. Herbal Burner, this is going to be largely on them to see if they can get this ultimate out. Huge couple of hits. They've got something right there, but they need to convert. They need to get the damage out there. They need to get the kills. Papagepetto finds a Fire Strike kill, but in the meantime, finds their way off the point. Vero now holding on for dear life, trying to touch at the last second. Gets it with just under a moment to go. We got just one player on point, a couple trying to get there. It's going to be Papagepetto looking to charge on the point. Can they get there in the nick of time? They do. Torero holds it down for the squad and gets the tack visor to boot. So huge plays coming out from Post University here to make sure they stay where they need to be. An unfortunate trap kind of left there. Torero's going to hope that in the next 10 seconds they can get that healing station back pretty quickly, because that could be very useful here. Both support ultimates coming out now for BVU. Papagepetto holding the line. It looks like it's a little bit early, actually. This is going to favor Post University in a huge way, especially considering Vero has the Molten Core out. They get two with it. They pay for it with their own life, but it's not going to matter. The res does come out, though. Oh, that's bad. Herbal Burner, or rather, sorry, Atheon is right there looking to try and do some damage, but they're forced to back off because Papagepetto forces the issue up front. And now Atheon is in a bad position here. Post University, if they can, they want to try and collapse on Atheon here. We've got a Reinhardt fight going on now. Papagepetto, big charge to get that pick. That is huge. That is a fight win right there, even despite Vero, sorry, somebody going down. Torero, yeah, they're gonna force the issue even more. Gets the Shatter, bigger staggers. So now we're going to be entering last fight territory here. The name of the game, once again, going to be this tack visor. And so look for both Baptiste, Jojo, and Torero to kind of be on the same page with this. That's going to be kind of the win condition here for the Post University Eagles. Immortality Field used early because of a lot of damage coming through to pretty much the entire team. So Torero takes a little damage once again. Pushing forward, big pick from Vero. 30 seconds left to go. There's an opportunity here for BVU to try and maybe back off a little bit, but it looks like they want to force the issue. They think they can do it. Here comes that window right there. So now we got to watch for Torero with his tack visor through it. Beautiful. Beautifully done. With 18 seconds left to go, this could be just about it, especially considering Wax Chunk has decided to stagger themselves too. So that's going to make it even harder for their squad to try and find a way to get to point. Atheon coming in with a Shatter, but 7 seconds left to go. I don't think they're going to get there. That's a big Shatter, though. But I don't think anybody's anywhere even close to getting to the point. So what a hold coming out from the Post University Eagles. I mean, you cannot underestimate third point defense on Kings Row. It's you can put your foot down, and that is exactly what Post University did right there. They just said no. They had their old rotations, right? They burnt off enough time kind of in streets to make sure that they get that they don't get full capped, right? Even in OT. So great showing coming out there from the Eagles. Now it's just kind of up to them to see if they can duplicate that kind of success on the offense, right? It's kind of tough to tell. You know, you watch the control point maps first, and in a lot of ways they're kind of, I think, the least indicative of how an entire game is going to go. Very frequently you can see a team that's really good on control. Maybe they're a little bit more deathmatchy in how they play, and if that's the case, then a lot of times you'll see them kind of falter on some of the other maps. BVU's looking really good here. They push through pretty hard, so I'm not sure if that's going to necessarily be the case. But Post University, great squad, sitting at 3-3. They both want to make it to these playoffs, and Post University, they got to be feeling pretty proud of how they did on the defense there. So again, Ascenti got to be one of the main people I'm going to be watching for this BVU squad. Dreyer opting here for the Bastion. Atheon on the Sig this time, taking a page out of Postbook. TP from Vero kind of to the high ground right there, but a nice job from Senny to kind of take it out of the mix. Torero does find Kai, though, so things are starting off pretty well. That's another pick for Vero in the meantime, but it's traded back immediately. So it's going to be a 1-for-1, but Papagepetto gets a huge charge kill, and with no supports left anywhere, I mean, what a fast cap here from Post University. They do have to cap, though. They've got to stay back there. Okay, I thought there'd only been 4 picks. Aseni was still holding up there, so that's a nice stagger. You know, if Aseni had been able to hold out there, that could have been a great thing for them as soon as, you know, they start pushing here under arches, but not going to be the case. Atheon swapping over now to the Orisa. So that's going to be kind of like some more immediate staying power here for Atheon and for BVU. And in addition, they're going to be able to do kind of like more consistent damage. We can see already Papagepetto just takes a little bit too much right there. I don't think it was quite aware how low they were and just how much damage was coming in. Guerrero going to use the turret form. Papagepetto gets the res, though, so now they're going to start pushing forward pretty aggressively. But that shield is going down pretty quickly as well. They're going to be forced out. Mortality field comes out too, but Vero's just doing phenomenal with the Symmetra right now. Finds Aseni, who, again, they've been one of the biggest thorns in the side of Post University. Charge hit for Papagepetto doesn't lead anywhere this time. There's a nice boot coming out from Kai. Papagepetto keeping that pocket on there through the Valkyrie as well. And that's good because Jupiter has the Coalescence going too. So another TP coming out from Vero. So let's see where she's gotten to. Yeah, kind of right into the back line there. And that helps get enough damage in to give Post University another fight win. And they are blitzing right now through this map. So Ultimate's online. Ultimate's on board. They were able to get through a couple of them as well. You can see that healing turret down now. Kai, I think, was thinking about trying to find an off angle to see if maybe they could get a get that burst, get that ultimate down. But great charge coming in. That's going to knock down all the supports there. And Post University clearly knows how to play this map. This is definitely one of, I think, they're more practiced. You know, the positioning is great. Nobody is hesitating. Everybody looks very, very confident right now in what they're doing. They know their job. They know how to get it done. And Terrera is able to gun down one more. So, I mean, dude, we're coming into Post University coming in with over 5 minutes into point number 3. This is fantastic. And here comes Kai with their ultimate, though. So let's see if Post University able to sustain through it. Vera's going to go down because they do land the shots they need. But Torero says you weren't paying quite enough attention. Guns them down. Now Atheon going to meet their maker as well. And Post University, I think, has so far won every single fight on the attack. Every single fight, right? Now we're sitting at 4.5 minutes. Over 4.5 minutes to just try and get a few more meters. This is last fight territory here. There might be kind of like a scuffed fight if BVU needs it, but it's looking like it might be the case here. Papagepetto taking a lot of damage, though. That's going to be another Valk coming out from Herbal. Herbal has been great with these Valks. Huge shatter going to clear the way here. Papagepetto unfortunately gets out of the LOS there just a little bit, but it doesn't seem to matter. Big window coming out as well. Torero is going to be happy about this. That's going to be a Bastion go burr right through that gun right there. Nice job trying to use that natural cover there from Aseni, but it's only going to last for so long. And Post University blitzes through the attack on King's Row to make the match 1-1, bringing it back even. This is going to be an exciting one, everybody. I think both of these squads are looking fantastic tonight. So let's take a peek at this play of the game coming out from Jupiter. It's a big rip tire from Wax Chunk as well. It was a great attack from BVU, but Post University just looked absolutely magnificent there on the attack. The defense was good. Defense was solid. The attack was exceptional. And that was the difference maker there. So, great call from them going to King's Row, bringing it back to a classic. We're going to throw to a short break here again. The players are going to get a little water. This is going to be the longer break, so it might be about 5 minutes or so. But don't go anywhere. We will be back just as soon as we can with a continuation of this match for playoffs between Post University and BVU. See you all very soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the action. Warren JuggleGod Hammond here for Post-University Eagles. They are taking on BVU, that is Buena Vista University. Scores 1-1 right now, headed to Circle Royale, and again, if you are just joining us, one of the big things to know is that both of these teams now are vying for a spot in the playoffs, right? Both of these teams need a win to secure that playoff spot. So, very high stakes game here. And in addition, one thing I really want to say here, and I don't normally talk about this, is the fact that both of these teams are so incredibly nice. The vibe in chat, in the lobby, is amazing. They've both got so much on the line right now, but they are so friendly, having so much fun. Love to see it. This is what college, I think, esports is all about, right? So, let's take a look at what these teams are going to be running out here with. Again, it's going to be your Post-University Eagles on the defense, Papagepetto on the Reinhardt, which is kind of a not a typical pick here, especially for Papagepetto, right? This is kind of like Sigma, you know, the big Sigma map. So, I do find it a little interesting that they've decided on that. In the meantime, though, Aseni has already gotten one big pick. So, that's going to force everybody here for Post-University to back up quite a bit. So, Papagepetto doing just that right now, but Aseni actually taking a lot of damage. Kai is forced to pocket them. In the meantime, so is Torero. Jojo having to back off too, and Papagepetto's shield is non-existent now. So, Game Worm pushing forward pretty aggressively. That's going to be a nice big wall there from the Mei. Doesn't quite catch Papagepetto completely, but does make life difficult for him. So, Post-University back to full strength, and to their credit right there, they did a fantastic job of not letting things snowball there for them. So, Vero, huge pick onto Aseni. I don't think we see Vero much on the Hanzo, so it's cool to see her choosing that hero right now. Herbal Burner finds a pick as well. So that's gonna be massive for Post-University. That's gonna shut things down quite a bit. But Papagepetto is having a hard time kind of keeping shield health up right now. So that's gonna, I think, be kind of the number one thing that he needs to do right here. And with that Mei wall, I mean, look at that, beautifully placed there. That's gonna cause a lot of problems. We can see that they realize it, but a big Shatter comes in. Vero's able to find one pick right there. Now Papagepetto smells blood on the water, pushing forward pretty aggressively, and he's going to be powered by Herbal Burner with a Coalescence in tow. She's actually, or he rather, is going to push forward, try and secure a couple kills. Doesn't quite get them, but forces the rest of the team back. So you're able to actually escape because it was only Game Worm who was up there, and Torero and Papagepetto get the job done. Torero says, I'm not done yet. I'm pushing forward with this tack visor. We're taking no names, or we're taking names here. Great plays coming out from Post-University. 2 minutes burnt off the clock here as well. And Vero continues to click heads. Vero is absolutely on fire right now with this Hanzo. Going to be a big Terra Surge, though, coming in with the Coalescence behind it. That's going to cause problems. A Blizzard as well. You know what? BVU said, we want to win this fight. We're going to press Q. Jojo somehow finds a way. She finds a way to get a pick in the back line before she goes down. So, gotta love that. But that's going to be kind of a difficult stagger, I think, to deal with as well. So let's take a look at Post-University and see how they're going to plan to kind of try and contest here. But a huge wall actually going to make life difficult here for Papagepetto. That's going to be a nice Dragon Strike going through the point, though. Somebody from Post-University needs to touch, but unfortunately Papagepetto is down. Nobody's going to be able to do it. So BVU does get the point. It was a good effort from Post to try and make that happen, but could have been better. They could have been better served maybe just holding back a little bit there. Torero's onto the Junkrat now, and oops, that's not the Junkrat. There's the Junkrat. And with Torero on the Junk, there's going to be a potential, like, teamfight swing, right? Like, huge teamfight swings. Every time you can have a Junkrat on the board, that is absolutely the case. And Aseni is just an absolute phenom for this squad right here. But begs off a little bit more than they can chew, and Vero says, no, no, no. You're not the only Mei here. Forced to go into their ice block, though, as they take quite a bit of damage, but get healed pretty quickly, so that means they're back into the fight soon, too. Herbal Burner getting ready to get that Coalescence again, so we're gonna check in on him to see where that's at. Then he has a Blizzard too, so Herbal Burner might want to hold on to that if they're tracking these ultimates well. But Rusty Pipes gets a quick pick as soon as that Coalescence is popped, though. The squad from BVU gets a couple of picks, so Vero tries to survive, but is forced to back up. Herbal Burner takes a fall too, and that's going to be the second point, honestly, for BVU. So they did a great job, I think, of kind of picking the right time to push forward. It's interesting, too, because we have a couple of swaps coming out, right? Game Worm is in, and Rusty Pipes, I believe, is back, too. So Post University seems to be having a little bit tougher time with this squad in particular, right? With this kind of team makeup. So BVU might end up kind of sticking with this. It's going to be curious to see, though, because maybe they have different people for different specialties. That's a big Dragon Strike as well. That's going to clear a lot of room, but Vero continues with the Deadly May gameplay. Oh, what a shot. Almost gets another one out there. They have the Blizzard ready to go, and that, yeah, she could, Vero, she could go ahead and throw that Blizzard because she knows that Javelin spin is gone. She gets one kill onto Asani again, and I love this. Post University, they have identified the biggest threat. Herbal Burner goes down, but Riptire from Torero seals the deal. They are going to get the res out, but honestly, that's kind of nice for Post University because it means that they're not going to have to worry about that on this next fight. Vero takes a little bit of damage again. That got a little dicey right there, a little dangerous. Playing with fire, the Ice Queen is. Well, not quite going to work out there. 10 seconds to try again, so that's going to be a big opportunity here. And with the, yep, here comes the Terra Surge from Game Worm. It's going to be right into the ice block for Vero, but Torero's down. That's going to be unfortunate. Let's take a peek at Jojo, though, who does have this amplification matrix ready to go. So kind of as soon as BVU pushes this corner, that's going to be a great time to put up that window. Jojo decides not to in the midst of the Blizzard, but what a Maywall from the opposing team, honestly, to save Post. So Aseni has been phenomenal, but right there, slight misplay, and that's going to give Post University the fight. Jojo gets to hold onto their ultimate as well. She's going to be able to keep that in store as Herbal Burner uses the Coalescence instead to kind of get that fight win. And I like that play because I think the amplification matrix is going to be a little bit more valuable when BVU is at full strength. So Vero has the Blizzard as well, looking for that to be big, and Vero wins the May duel again. I'm loving this. I'm loving the kind of the picks back and forth between these between the Ice Queens here. Big wall dissection off Game Worm, but they're gonna be able to get around it. There's the, yep, there it is again. There's the Javelin spin. So, oh, what a Dragon Strike coming out from Rusty Pipes. Wait until the last minute, but that's gonna be a big Blizzard coming out too. BVU, though, are going to be able to sustain through it. They get the picks before the Blizzard becomes an issue there. So, just great timing from them. Serendipity, perhaps. Luck, perhaps. Maybe calculated. Would not count that out by any stretch of the imagination. So, kind of going to be the big person to watch out for. But Jojo has gone ahead and used this amplification matrix. So this is a perfect time for it. Excuse my observing skills. My non-existent observing skills. Unfortunately, the amplification matrix wears off, but not before Torero is able to get one pick. Almost goes down. That's going to be a nice hold there. But look at this high ground positioning, right, that we're seeing here. Oh, Rusty Pipes is actually forced out of it. They're actually, looks like they're going to be able to get away, too, which is unfortunate there for Post. Kai has used the Valkyrie now that the team is back to full strength, so they're going to start to push in, but you're going to have to get through Papagepetto, and this Coalescence from Herbal Burner. Torero goes down, though. Here comes that Coalescence. Looking to see if they can just kind of stall away, keep BVU from pushing, because they want to wait until Torero's back, because that Terra Surge can be huge with those sticky bombs from Torero and that focusing game. I anticipate that's going to be kind of what they're looking for here. Vero with the headshot again, this time on the Rusty Pipes. The res is going to come in, though. That's going to be a big push. Here comes the Terra Surge from both squads. Let's see how this is going to go. It's going to be 2 for 2 right there, but both supports are down for BVU, with the Blizzard coming in from Vero as well. Even though she takes her trip back to spawn, the hold is complete. And you know what? BVU is getting pretty far on these payload style maps, but Post University is putting a stop to them. They've got a great... they play very, very well when they're on third. It feels like they know how to kind of like stall out the time, right? Like that Coalescence that we saw Herbal Burner use in order to let, it was either Vero or Torero, I think it was Torero, kind of get back to the point, was absolutely clutch, right? That, I think their ultimate use when they're down a player and if they're able to stabilize, is fantastic. So, also, welcome Post U Esports 2. Thank you for the raid, the party of 5. Good to see you here. You are in store for, you are in for a treat. This is a fantastic matchup between BVU and, of course, your Post University Eagles. They are both gunning for a playoff spot right here, and it is 1-1 right now. We're getting ready to see the attack side coming out from Post University as BVU pushed it almost to completion, but they did the same thing on Kings Row just one map ago, and Post University was able to take that win. In fact, Post University on the attack did not drop one fight. Not one on their Kings Row attack. So I got a good feeling about this attack for Post University, but you cannot count out BVU at all. That was again another fantastic attack coming out from them. So let's see what they're going to be able to do this time around. Post University and BVU looking to make it 2-1 here in this matchup, as we're going to see the Battle Cattle playing a prominent position here. Rusty Pipes in the backline, though, could be kind of problematic for Post University. As we can see, Hat goes in onto Herbal Burner, and they're going to be taken out. What a phenomenal play there from Rusty Pipes. That's going to slow things down a bit for Post University. And look at this. Rusty is going to potentially even try and spawn camp that Mercy. Asceni finds Vero as well. So with that, Post University just kind of picked apart from behind. Right, that initial pick really kind of sealed the deal there. Jojo goes down, Papagepetto falls too, and that's honestly kind of 2 fight wins there for BVU. So I would have liked to see a little bit more patience there coming out from Post University, which I feel like they typically have. Is a little uncharacteristic right there. But first fights, minute to go here. Game Worm pushes out a little bit far from that corner, so Terrera says, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna pop this. Configuration mode, see if we can get a little damage in here, maybe push people back, and that's exactly what they've been able to do. But Terrera trying to keep a track of where Rusty is. They just got 1 more HP. Look at that! I don't know if, Chad, you've ever seen it before, but there's a subreddit called r/watch Sombra die, and that was an invisible Sombra shot we saw coming out from Terrera. Great prediction right there. This fight's getting pretty heavy right here. We see a care surge coming out from Game, but nice use of all the abilities coming out from Papagepetto to stay alive right there. The Fortify really kept them up through that, allowed them to kind of keep that positioning in that front line. And we got the Murder Moth and Herbal Burner providing a little bit of assistance as well. So took a little more time than it did the first time, you know, back on King's Row. They're getting close here. There is going to be another contest coming out. I think they're going to have a more significant one than we perhaps saw from Post University, just because of the nature of the map. No, never mind. They're going to leave it be. In the meantime, yeah, Herbal Burner says, stay away from my backline, Sombra. But in the meantime, that means Asceni has been had kind of free reign to get rid of a bit of the front line here. And in the midst of that hack, Rusty Pipes finds another. So Post University going to have to regroup here. Couple of picks come in. Vero does find one. She's going to back out with that TP just to kind of stabilize here. But we're going to have 4 ultimates on the board for each of these squads right here. The big difference is we got 1 support ultimate up over BVU. They've got or rather, BVU has 1 over Post. That's going to gain a lot of space there for Post University. We can see him moving back. But in the meantime, Bob has done some damage. Asceni as well. Papagepetto finds 1. Is it going to be enough? They're kind of just pushing forward on this front line, seeing what they can get done. But a nicely timed hack from Rusty Pipes is going to put a stop to things. And honestly, this Sombra pick is causing quite... it's becoming quite the thorn in the side of Post University. That's going to need to be addressed somehow, right? So I'm curious to see what they're going to do to kind of deal with the Sombra. We're not seeing a difference of composition. I think I like Vero, though, on the Symetra, because she could put the turrets down. But that's going to be a big push into the back line. They're going to see if they can take out Asceni immediately again. They're providing so much of the damage coming through. But again, look at this. Rusty Pipes finds 2 in the meantime. Rusty Pipes has been just, again, a thorn in their side. Could be Post University only down 1. Make it 2, though, as soon as Papagepetto falls. Herbal Burner gets the res, but that's likely just going to help speed things up a little bit. In the meantime, Jupiter is actually on the point right now and putting a little bit of damage into Jojo, who stays towards the front line. So This is concerning for Post University. They need to find a way to break through this. And again, they need to deal with Rusty somehow. Either that or win the fight before Rusty becomes an issue, which it looks like may be the plan right here, because Terrera swapped over to the Reaper now. I think they want, you know, maybe that extra mobility to come through. Game Worm actually taking quite a bit of damage here. Papagepetto recognizing that, pushing forward. There's Rusty in the back line once again, causing problems. Papagepetto now. Jojo forced to use the Immortality Field. Kai finds Torero in the meantime, so that's going to make things difficult again for Post University. And Rusty Pipes finds that backline. They've got to deal with Rusty. You know, the DPS again, right? Asceni has been such a critical part for BVU here, but right now, I think the story is Rusty Pipes, and that is a story that Post University needs to wrap up if they're hoping to get this map, because right now this is the best that BVU has looked on a defense on a payload map yet. Right? I mean, again, remember, they lost every single fight on their defense on King's Row. Again, it was a different composition, though, right? Game Worm is in instead of Atheon. Rusty Pipes is in as well, in place of the other DPS. So we're going to have to kind of wait and see how this plays out here. Terrero does find a pick, though. Gets a second, so maybe this was the play. Get the Reaper out on the field and see what they can do. Jupiter falls as well, so almost as soon as they swap to that Reaper, I think there was one fight in between. Post University finds some success. Papagepetto onto the Reinhardt now as well, so could be a part of it too. Right, able to kind of close that distance a little bit more, hold on to some space, even though it's at the cost of kind of like the extra damage that Game Worm does provide on the Orisa. Torero in the backline now saying, hey, I can do the thing you were trying to do. That's going to be a big Death Blossom as well. Two players, both of the supports. So as long as Post University plays this right, this should be a quick and easy. But Asceni finds one. Rusty Pipes gets another one. Now Bob causing problems here, so it's definitely not over yet. But again, there's no supports left. So Post University should be able to get this. Papagepetto charges the almost invisible Sombra into oblivion. Here comes a big sunburst, though, coming out from Kai. And with that, huge shatter, coalescence behind it, and now Herbal Burner comes in to save the day with that coal, a hack as well, but Rusty Pipes falls, and again, Post University, they found what they needed, I think. So now, what is the response going to be here from BVU, right? Are we going to see a change come out or not? Are they going to stick to their guns here? Is there going to be an adaptation made? Right now, it looks like no. And this is great for Post University as well, because they don't have any ultimates on board. Jojo's going to have the amplification matrix. And what I love about this, we haven't really talked about yet today. Oh, look at this duel here with a Vero, right? On the high ground, trying to see if they go. Oh, but now there's two DPS there. Yeah, they're going to get chased off, unfortunately, for them. So that's going to cause a little bit of a problem. We're cruising to last fight territory here. This is such a close matchup. What's going to be the way that Post University decides to play this? They have that amp matrix, but again, I think they should kind of hold on to her. Terrero tries to get an early pick into the backline, doesn't find anything, and now kind of that high ground needs to be dealt with because Asceni's up there. We know Asceni hits shots. They're already doing just that. 30 seconds left to go here, Post University. They're going to try and, looks like, force the issue here. Hack comes in, though, and Rusty Pipes finds the pick, finds the kill. Fortunately, Jojo does not use that amplification matrix. Herbal Burner and Papagepetto each find one. That's going to be a DPS and a support gone, but they're going to be forced to back off, too. Big thing, though. Post University has ults. BVU does not. Oh, Asceni has to have the bomb, but Vero took them out. Now they've got the cart. Post University is so close to completion here. Are they going to be able to get it? Vero now purple, though, gets taken out. Just a few seconds left to go here. We've got Herbal Burner and Jojo on the point. Jojo needs to use his amplification matrix. They get it out in the nick of time, but they go down. Shatter coming in for Papagepetto immediately, but is it going to be enough? That's going to be a huge purple as well. And with the Terror Surge out, they're going to go down. Game Worm holds on, and that's going to be BVU at the 11th hour, holding out to make it 2-1 and put themselves on match point.
Play of the game.
I mean, these are two incredibly well-matched teams here tonight. It's been such a pleasure, such a joy watching them both. And yeah, here's where things started to really turn around here for Post University. And, you know, perhaps if that had happened a little bit sooner, who knows? It could have looked a little bit different. But I love that it did happen. I love that we got a really close match that right at the end. It could have gone either way Both teams played great, but in the end, it was BVU who pulled out that win. So now, Post University gotta scramble, gotta come back. They can't afford to drop one more map. Otherwise, it is going to be BVU who punches that ticket to the playoffs. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. Should be a short break this time. See you all very soon. To New Queen Street we go, everybody. Welcome back to the broadcast. Currently, Post University Eagles down by 1. It is 1-2. BVU 1 game away from punching their tickets to the playoffs here. So, both these squads, again, this is crunch time, right? So, Post University hoping that Toronto are going to be the locale that helps them bridge the gap, make the difference, take us to a map number 5. And interesting looks coming out from both sides. We're going to see if those stick. But I think the big thing is that with that I picked up on is the fact that BVU, they've recognized that both of the games they've won has been with this lineup, right? So I think that's what they're counting on here. In the meantime, Post University has decided to bring the damage and bring it in a big way. Vero and Torero, I love that actually. Vero Torero, both going to be looking, I think, to cause a lot of problems for Game Worm, because Game Worm has been just, I think, a big part of the success here. So let's see exactly how they're going to handle that as we see them setting up kind of on this high ground. Initially, though, Vero taken out, but that's going to be 1-for-1. Torero putting in the damage right here as Papagepetto kind of tries to take the forefront here. In the meantime, though, you can see Vero has respawned. Papagepetto shield going down kind of low, so this is going to be an opportunity, I think, for Game Worm to start moving in. You see Aseni over here on the side. And Game Worm doing a good job of kind of trying to keep their teammate alive. Jojo's forced to use the Suzu already. So that's unfortunate there for Post, but they're gaining a little bit of progress here. Just because of the nature, I think, of this composition, they're able to kind of brute force their way forward a little bit. But Aseni, again, finds the pick onto Torero. So now Post University just needs to sustain. What a shot from Jojo! I mean, she took one look to the high ground, found the kill, and could potentially helping turn this fight around. But Rusty Pipes finds them instead. So now it's going to be up to Papagepetto, rather, to try and keep things going here. But with a team falling away around them, that's going to be the first fight going the way of BVU. But they didn't make it easy. That fight could have gone either way. Ooh, and now Herbal Burner in a tough position. Yeah, everybody knows where he is, but he's fortunately able to back out. So now we got a Terra Surge and the Dragon Strike coming up here, and that could be a brutal combination. See Papagepetto over to the Battle Cattle now. The Sleep Dart, it's a lot. I mean, but that's what you do. That's what you do as a tank. You eat as many abilities as you can, you stay alive, you make space, and you create opportunities for your team to get kills. So Papagepetto now trying to sustain. Here comes a Kitsune rush here. Kai is down. So is there going to be an investment coming out from BVU? It doesn't look like it. And what a flank here from Vero as well to put the finishing touches on Game Worm with the help of the compatriot in the DPS slot, Torero. Herbal Burner finds a couple. Herbal Burner, by the way, has just been insane with their coalescences. Coalescences? However you want to say it. They have been good. Now we got a couple DPS ultimates coming online. Jupiter has their coalescence as well, though. So again, how is this going to be played out? Jojo forced once again to use that Suzu early, so she doesn't have it for herself to kind of get away from that hindered. But it's not going to matter. Not enough damage coming in. Here comes an ultimate from Torero. Once again, where's it going to go? Vera's able to find one in Aseni, and that is huge. That's exactly what we're hoping to see. So, Sticky Bombs go in, looking to gun down Jupiter. Doesn't quite get it. Oh my gosh, Kai's going down very low, though. What focus fire coming out from Vero, and big pick as well. And with that, Jupiter's going to fall, and Post University going to take this fight and the lead. Papagepetto does fall, though, so that is a little bit concerning. But again, the lead is there. The big thing, can they get the butt scratch? Because two players have fallen right now. So it's going to be the supports on point, but you know what? They get it done, and that is huge, right? It's not a whole lot of a difference in terms of distance traveled, but just getting that checkpoint versus not having it, absolutely massive. Seni, though, has the nano boost committed to them. Finds one. Looking to gate out Herbal Burner, too. Gets them. So now that's a little bit troubling here for Post University. They're probably going to want to back up here, and they may in fact have to take this fight at the last second, right? Looking to just make sure that they take the fight before this squad is able to do anything. Big duplicate coming out though from Vero. She going to be able to do anything with it is the question. She is taken out of it almost immediately. In the meantime, Rusty Pipe finds one, but Papagepetto gets a second. Vero falls though, so that's going to be things falling apart here for Post University. But look at this. Nobody was moving the cart, so Post University might have another opportunity here. But in the meantime, Papagepetto, though, actually, that stagger could be brutal. So let's see if Post University is able to regroup before we see that butt scratch. And I don't think they're going to be able to. I don't think that's going to be in the card. So they're probably going to look to take the fight during the butt scratch, right? If they can keep BVU from pushing forward any, that's going to be key. That's going to be clutch. But looks like Papagepetto's not going to quite get back in time. So, maybe Papagepetto has dropped, but they're not going to push forward, which means, yeah, the lead now has gone over to BVU once again. This is such a back and forth affair. Or rather, yeah, here we go. Huge E there coming out for Papagepetto. Are they going to be able to stay alive, though? The rest of the team scrambling to try and give them help, give them support. Aseni's still on the flank. Torero, though, has found one. They've broken out the Sombra now themselves. Herbal Burner with the Coalescence finds a second. So, Post University, they might have lost the lead, but you know what? They've come back in a big way. Gonna be a nice hack. Let's check in on Torero, because Torero now with the Sombra making problems for everybody. See if they can get in on Aseni. Oh my gosh, so close, but wisely backs out. Vero finishes them off, and now Torero knows there's another Sombra on the field, and so This could be very interesting. Big stickies coming out from Vero as well. Papagepetto pushing forward now. They're going to be able to get the lead again. It's just back and forth, chat. Just back and forth and back and forth. How's this going to play out? Papagepetto actually playing pretty aggressively, and looks like they might... Yeah, they're going to be rewarded for their efforts, especially since Torero gets another pick. And now that's going to very highly extend the lead here for Post University. This is going to be huge for him. Jojo actually getting pressured into the back line, or in the back line, rather. That's going to be a big Terror Surge coming out now for Game Worm, but does not result in anything. Post University was ready for it. They descend on Game Worm like the early bird and get the fight win. Now Papagepetto pushing forward. Oh, that might not have been the play right there. They're going to try and get the kills. No, it was. It absolutely was. I should not question Papagepetto. They're going to get taken out there, but look at how much distance. I mean, Post University has now eclipsed that 100-meter mark, which a lot of times is just the point of no return for squads, for other teams. Game Worm gets hacked, but they're going to be able to sustain. Rusty Pipes finds a pick as well. Carrera gets one in the back line. That's not too bad, but this fight is essentially over in favor of BVU, but that's okay. A little under 3 minutes to go here, and Post University has built a substantial lead. 2 fights at least. Oh, what a pick coming out from Herbal, too. That was really clutch, because that means that now Post University is going to have a better opportunity to kind of regroup, but Papagepetto is pushed forward on their own. I'm not sure if this was the play here, but they do have forward spawns, I think, which is going to mean that Papagepetto will have support sooner than later, but unfortunately, it looks like later was when the support got there. They did stall out the point, though, for a little bit, and Papagepetto, no, not going to be able to get the forward spawn here, unfortunately. So now, Aseni, oh yeah, already letting loose with their ultimate, trying to see if maybe they can find something early on. They do get Jojo, that's going to be big. Oh, they try for Herbal as well at the end there, but not going to be able to get them. But that's still a big pick. Rusty Pipes here on the backline too. Papagepetto going to get hacked almost immediately. Herbal Burner trying to keep them alive and hopefully not let things kind of snowball, because now Vero is down as well. What we really need to see Post University do here is stabilize. They've got this if they stabilize, but Rusty Pipe says, no, we don't want to let you do that. We're going to get some damage in. We're going to get an EMP happening. Herbal Burner goes down 92 meters, though. And, you know, I hope I didn't cast their curse right here, because it looks like things are going very, very well for BVU right now. Post University, again, they need to stabilize, and they're not doing that. They've got to back out here. Rusty Pipes finds their way back to their squad. So let's take a look here, because the rest of the team is just about back. Papagepetto here on the Sigma, looking to make life difficult for Seni. They do just that. That is huge. They needed that pick. And hopefully they can push this into a fight when the Kitsune Rush is going to make that an almost certainty here, but they need these picks. They're not coming in just yet. The hack on the game, where we need to see some focus fire coming out from Post University. Otherwise, yeah, bad things are going to happen. We'd see things starting to turn around into the other direction. That's going to be 2 big picks here for the BVU squad. Post University cannot afford to lose too many more. It's going to come down to this fight right here. This is going to be the final fight, but Post University has the MP. Papagepetto has the Gravitic Flux. There is the line of victory. Everybody's just about out. Here comes the Gravitic Flux. Well, Papagepetto, they've got him in the air, but the hack comes in. That's going to drop them all back to the ground. In the meantime, Terror finds one. The EMP is out. Aseni is down. Rusty Pipes with just a sliver of health. 30 seconds left to go here. Papagepetto getting the extra damage in. They want to try and get these staggered as much as they can. This is such a fine line to walk, because you also have to get the fight win. You have to get the fight win here, chat. And Game Worm doing as much as they can to stay alive, and they're doing a phenomenal job of it as well. Post University needs to get these kills. They just haven't quite converted them. We need to see that focus fire. That's going to be a big hack from Terrera. That is absolutely what we needed to see. Terrera getting things done here on the Sombra before they're taken out. But look at this. Vero finds the tank. It is overtime. They're trying to push everybody off the point. Herbal Burner does get picked. So now it's just up to these two. Can they do it? Never mind. They've got Jojo back in the mix as well. She is here to try and help save the day, but the Bastion is in the turret form now. Vero is low, but look at that flank coming out from Vero as well. They're trying to put some pressure onto Jupiter, put some pressure onto this backline. They're kind of forced out for a second, but Seni is down. That's a huge pick as well from Vero. She found what she needed, and now things have gone from bad to worse for BVU. Here comes Vero with the duplicate as well. Overtime has been ticked over. There's just one player left. That player, Game Worm, and that is gonna do it. Game number 5. Here we come.
Play of the game.
And Torero with Bastion and Ganymede. Ganymede in tow. Oh, huge plays here. Yeah, what a phenomenal job by this squad. So, we're going to throw it to a break again, chat, but do not go anywhere. We will be back soon with hopefully, with for sure, the exciting conclusion to this match. We're going to get to see who punches their ticket to the playoffs. One game, and if memory serves me correctly, we're going to Flashpoint now. So, don't go anywhere. It's the excitement continues very soon. Hello everybody and welcome back. We're gonna get into the game in just a minute here, but if you are just joining us, exciting match here. I've been quoting one statistic, which I went back and reviewed my notes and I realized is wrong. And that is that both of these teams, like, they need they need this win, or this win will punch their ticket to the playoffs. That is not quite correct. They both need to win this week and next week in order to secure a spot in the playoffs. So they do need a win tonight to get into the playoffs, but that doesn't do it for them. They both need a win next week. So both under the gun here. There's just been phenomenal camaraderie and great sportsmanship between both teams. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. So we're getting ready for our final map of the evening. It is gonna be Vasa. That will be BVU's choice. So we also have some swaps coming in. So Atheon is back in for Gamer, and Wax Chunk is in for Rusty Pipes. So post University, they're going to have to kind of regroup again and or not necessarily regroup, but they're going to have to adjust. They're going to have to adjust back to the squad that they faced back on Kings Row. Now, again, Kings Row was the most dominant that Post University has looked so far. So I like their chances here. I like the fact that we're seeing this squad come in, because I think even despite, the BVU taking the L on that last map, I think that that was the squad that looked a little bit better. But they could also be bringing them in for certain heroes, certain choices, right? They could be reacting to what Post University has done. So I don't think we can count this out at all. I mean, this has been such a close affair for both of these squads through and through that, we're in for an exciting last map. I wouldn't be surprised if we go to, if we go to 0.5 here. So let's see what happens as we get going with a final match of the evening between Post University and BVU. Torero starting things off on the Sombra again. That was a turning point for Post, by the way, was putting Torero on the Sombra. The DPS, though, in general, both Torero and Vero, they've both done a phenomenal job of swapping when they needed to. Vero on the flank here, which could be problematic because I don't think Vero realized that, there's a Reaper behind them. So they're forced to use their ice block early, but no damage done. Kai gets hacked in the back, goes down low, but Torero unable to kind of finish that off. That's going to be a wall place to try and see if they can section somebody off. Vero goes down low, but she doesn't have to use the ice block just yet. In the meantime, Papagepetto trying to gain some distance here, but just unable to do it. That's going to be a big hack onto the Reaper. They don't get the kill, and as a matter of fact, the kills come in favor of BVU. So that's going to be an early fight win, early possession here for BVU, and now Atheon just chasing down Vero. So again, right, can't count them out by any stretch of the imagination at all. BVU showing that they are here to play today, and they do want that playoff berth 100%. So Wax Chunk going to be causing problems in the backline, similar to Torero, so it'll be interesting to see kind of how this goes. If one of them ends up, kind of playing counter dive-ish or not, or if they're both just going to see, cool, who's going to be able to get the picks first, right, for the squad. Torero had a tough time of it last time through, so let's see if they're going to fare any better. They take a lot of damage. They're going to be forced out. Oh, no, they see Kai on the flank, and unfortunately, Aseni and Kai actually combined for the picks right there. Papagepetto falling in to see if maybe they can help secure a pick. Jojo is able to do that, actually, on the Zenyatta. Let's take a peek here, but unfortunately, the rest of the team falls. So this first point, I think, is going to go the way of BVU. We're going to see, though, Post University has an opportunity to get back, but it's going to be very, very close here, right? The numbers don't quite work the same way that they do when you're looking at, like, a control point, which I think is the closest thing we have to compare here. So the ticks go by faster, which means, 85% is not the cutoff. And in fact, it looks like Post is going to give up the point. They're going to say, you know what, we want to regroup. We want to make a really good push for this next flashpoint. So we've got it opening up. It's going to be over to the right here for both of these squads. Papagepetto is seeing if maybe they can burst down Atheon with that. Both bubbles are gone. So this is absolutely a time for Post University to find a pick. They get two, as a matter of fact. So they lost the first point, but they're starting out great here for the second one. The question is, can they get there before it unlocks? 13 seconds left to go. They absolutely can. In fact, they're looking to pick up a couple of picks along the way. That's going to be the recall used now. Torero coming in as well, able to get a pick onto Kai. Absolutely massive pulse bomb. Gonna be a whiff too from Wax Chunk, so that's something that Post University does not have to worry about at all. Wax Chunk over to the Junkrat. That's a big thing, right? Again, that's that fight swinging, that fight insta-win potential, right? Atheon getting a little bit of charge. They've got the Graviton Surge too, so this is going to be a big thing to watch out for. Papagepetto, if they can somehow knock him out of it or just eat that Graviton Surge, that's going to be the big thing that we're going to be looking for here from Post University, as this squad was able to group up pretty quickly. Death Blossom coming in. Huge Transcendence from Jojo. There's the Graviton Surge. Not able to get anything with it, and in fact, big counterplays coming out from Post University to secure the fight win, but at what cost, chat? At what cost? Every single ultimate, that's the cost. So, a little bit of an overplay there from Post University, but there's only one ultimate online as well. And oh, Vero gets the early pick onto Wax too. That was huge for Post University. Absolutely massive. That should be the point right there. I don't think there's any way that we're going to see a contest coming out. In fact, we see Atheon at this point kind of leading the team in a different direction, right? Trying to figure out where is going to be that next flashpoint, right? Where are we hitting next? And in fact, Vero, I think, is asking the exact same question right now, as am I. Okay, there it is. It's over to the right. Actually, it looks... Oh, no, that was Spawn. Also, hello, ECAC Esports. Thank you so much for dropping in for this very exciting match. We appreciate you and all you do for all of these teams, everybody involved in collegiate esports. So it looks like that early pick actually might not be that big of a deal here. It's going to be one bubble gone. Torero, though, is gone, which arguably a little bit more significant here. Papagepetto actually taking a lot of damage. Herbal Burner going to go down, too. So... despite an early pick there, that's going to be BVU taking control, taking this first possession. But fortunately for Post University, right, we're taking a look here at the charge that Atheon has. Atheon, I think, is going to have a hard time keeping that charge for this next fight, right? With the, you know, the nerfs that came in a long time ago to Zarya, that's definitely a thing. The longer bubble, though, is certainly causing some problems. I've seen Papagepetto a couple times kind of use some ability, start shooting a little bit early, thinking that the bubble is going to go down when in fact it hasn't quite yet. Wax Chunk taking a lot of damage there. Are they going to be able to continue or find that kill? Put Vero on the side here, looking to do just that. But Post University is also walking in without Terrera at the moment, who swapped over to the Far, which is the first time we've seen that. Couple of huge picks coming in. That's going to be the go button now for Post University. We can see them funneling down the stairway right here as they just continue to get pick after pick after pick. Atheon does find Torero, but it's not going to be enough to flip the script for BVU, as instead the point will be flipped instead. And as we hear, Vero, she has the Blizzard ready to go. Jojo, she's also got the Kitsune Rush just about ready to hit the point. Herbal Burner has his as well. In fact, we're looking at about 4 ultimates coming in for Post University. We just want to make sure they don't pop them all again. I mean, it got the fight win, it got the point. In fact, they were able to rally and kind of come back on this, but Atheon has a Graviton Surge, so let's see how this is going to go. Big wall coming out from Vero right there to kind of save things, at least for the moment. And it's going to be a... You know, it's going to be the name of the game is, can they sustain through this huge blizzard? But can they get the picks that they need? We see the rockets coming in. Papagepetto able to find 160% on the board here. It's going to be a couple of picks either way, though. And I think Post University looking a little rough here, but what a pick. What a Terra Surge. In fact, it's going to completely negate the Graviton Surge, and really Herbal Burner, I think, deserves a lot of the credit as well. He was able to get that Coalescence online, do a lot of damage, and secure the point for Post University. That's gonna be a point win, unless we see some just absolute shenanigans come out from BVU, but that is not going to be the case. So 1 point separates Post University from keeping their playoff hopes alive. Same could be said for BVU. Post University, they've got 2 ultimates online. They've got the Kitsune Rush. They also have the barrage coming in. And look at this, Terrera actually since they respawned a little bit in a different spot a little bit early, they're kind of in a tough position. They don't know where the other team is coming from. They do know where their team is, so they're going to go try and regroup with them. But I'm expecting Torero to start things off with a Kitsune Rush here, and exactly what happens. Papagepetto pushing in heavily, but taking a lot of damage. There's going to be the Transcendence coming out. Jojo does go down to Seni, coming up big for the BVU squad. The Beavers have found their way onto this point. They're not going down without a fight. We are down to... Yeah, this is do or die time for BVU. Absolutely. And Aseni who is such a danger, such a threat, has this tac visor as well. Looking to maybe see if they can get an early fight win by maybe pushing forward a little bit aggressively. That's going to be tough for Terrera. Terrera needs to make sure that that Aseni is down. Okay, here comes the barrage, though. Is it going to find value? Terrera does go down. It's just a little too much. They tried to take this right at the front, and in fact, Aseni is able to hold on to that tac visor. They don't even need to use that, so that's going to be available for him next time, too. 50% on the board here, but Post University is going to get another attempt at this point. And Herbal Burner has been so good the entire day. Herbal, he has been just phenomenal on the Moira. I think we've seen the least swapping, the least flexing coming out from Herbal Burner on this Moira, but it's because the Moira has been phenomenal. And the Coalescence is ready to go. And Vero goes down very low, but able to get into the ice block. Throw back onto the Bastion. They're looking to have just a ton of damage going in. Terrera finds Ivy. That's big. Herbal Burner likely going to be using that Coalescence soon, especially since the Graviton Surge is there. Herbal Burner, yes, has able to find a pick or two, but they don't get the point. They don't touch the Graviton Surge. Keeps Post University away. Huge play coming out from Atheon. So now, it all comes down to this. The final map. The final point. Both of these teams looking to keep those playoff hopes alive. It all comes down to this. 2 ultimates for each side. Big thing, though, Kai has the Transcendence, and that Transcendence could be very... that could be the key to this fight, either winning it or losing it for Post University. Kai taking a lot of damage. Going to be pushed back. Papagepetto does as well. They do get to the point. They're going to start securing it first because Wax took a fall somewhere. Vero's getting flanked on, though. She doesn't see it just yet. Now is aware. Here comes Atheon. And again, yeah, you see that timing? It's throwing everybody off. I'm doing it as well. Papagepetto lets that Javelin go just a hair early, but still, Post University, 24% or so on the point. Oh, the main wall, unfortunate right there. But you know what? It's not a big deal because Vero still has this Blizzard. But here comes a Riptire, and again, that's the thing that could flip things. Vero sees it. Can she get to it in time? Not quite, and it's gonna find one. Papagepetto goes down as well. Vero's gonna try and turn this point around with the Blizzard. Terrera finds one, too. Are they gonna be able to get more? Here comes the Transcendence, trying to keep hope alive here. Is it going to be enough? What a shot from Terrero! Terrero comes in clutch like you would not believe it now. Post University is primed to take this. They just have a tac visor, maybe a late grab that they have to look out for. But with 80-90% on the board, it's going to be very tough even for BVU to touch. Papagepetto actually trying to see if maybe they can get something on a flank. Instead, they're going to have to push back to the point, but they don't get there in time. Post University, map 5, last point, keeps the playoff hopes alive.
Play of the game.
And yeah, Terrero, I mean, what an ult here. I mean, it's got to be this last one. Oh, maybe not. No, it's not. It's going to be a different moment. 1 HP! 1 HP in a dream and an ult, chat. Oh, no, that was the very end. 1 HP. 1 HP to save the day, to help keep the playoff hopes alive for your Post University Eagles. And what a showing. I mean, both these teams absolutely phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about each of these squads. BVU, you've been one of my favorite squads to cast outside of Post University this season, so thank you so much for giving us a phenomenal game. Y'all played your hearts out, but at the end of the day, it goes to Post University. So they improved their record now to 4-3, and that was off of kind of a 2-week break as well, right, chat? They actually they got to this point through 2 FFs. Right, so they haven't even gotten to play in this tournament for a couple of weeks, and they come back with such a strong showing to keep the playoff dream alive. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you, Post University, for bringing me in. Thank you, ECAC Esports, for being here as well, for both teams, and for everybody here coming out to support your Post University Eagles. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe, do all the social media things for Post University. If you're looking for myself as well, JuggleGod, that's where you can find me just about anywhere. Thank you so much once again, GG's, and see y'all next time.